Okay, Allie, let's talk about the serve, right? So on your serve, you're doing a lot of things right. Um, you're reaching high, you're getting your toe off the ground, you're extending. So what we need is a little bit more consistency, right, in your contact. All right, so let me go back to the start here. We'll go regular speed, and then we'll go slow motion, a little bit slower here. All right, so you can see your contact, if you take a look, okay, so actually we'll go back a little bit further. Nice lift above your reach. We'll go back a little bit further. Okay, so you're lifting the ball straight up. Nice lift above your reach. Your elbow's back. You're swinging forward. Your elbow is above your ear, which is nice. Okay, and then looking at your elbow and your arm, you have nice contact. Now looking at the top right after contact, it looks like your hand turns away to the right. So the palm of your hand looks like it's facing me, right? So you want to keep your palm pointing towards the target, right? And not twist it so it's facing outward, right? It looks like it's facing me. So that's one thing. Another thing that I want you to key on is take a look at your hip. So we talked a little bit before about this, right? And it may take some time for you to build this into your motor program. But I would like to see you engage your hip, and let's see if I can get a drawing tool, and to really turn the hip this way first, right? So your hip turns first, right, and then your shoulders turn, and then your elbow flies up, and you make contact with the ball. But to really turn your hip all the way around first is going to be key. So I'm going to clear this out, and we can see that when you're making contact, right, you're stepping forward, right, and it's all arm swing, right. Your hip really isn't coming around from here to here. All right, I don't see your hip coming around, right. I mean, you want this hip to come around first this way, okay. So let's look at a little bit more of the tape here. So let's go forward, right? You do make eye contact, and then the hip eventually comes around, but after the ball is gone. All right, so let's go forward a little bit more. Let's go live. All right, and here's Tara. Hold on. Let's take a look at Tara. Okay, so let's take a look at her hip. So she tosses the ball up. It goes nice and high. She makes high contact, but you see her hip has already turned. So if you take a look down here, right, and look at her hip, right now she is open to the ball, uh, but before she makes contact, she's already turned her hip forward. So the first thing that comes and is moving is her hip. Her hip moves first, and then the rest of her body follows, okay? So let's go back in, let's say half speed. Let's take care of all of this stuff. All right, and stop. So if we go back and then now take a look at her hip, right? Her hip comes forward, and right before she makes contact, her hip is all the way forward, right? So at this point, the hip was back here, and now it's come around forward, all right? Again, the hip was back here, and let's go back there. It was back there, and it's come all the way around forward. So now her hip is forward and ahead of her elbow, right? So her elbow's here, right? And her hip is turning forward of her elbow, right? So that's what I would like to see you do, okay? All right, so let clear this, all right, and let's kind of go back into regular speed.
Power, put it in the court.
All right,
Focus.
and hold. All right, so let's see, Allie. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we're gonna go in slow motion. Okay, and pause. Okay, so we can see your hip is back here. Right, right, and let's see what happens in this box. All right, if we go forward, contact. All right, and then this is a little bit better, but I could still see your right leg is behind, still back here, behind the left, right? So in the future, right, I want to see that right hip turn really quickly and turn quickly past this line. And so let's put another line in here. Oh, that's too far over. Let's see if I can do something here. Let me erase this thing. How do I do that? Do that. Okay, and now let me do that. All right, let's see if I can do this. Okay. All right, so what I would like to see is for your hip to get past the yellow line before you make contact with the ball. All right, so in the future, fire that hip forward and through so your right leg is stepping forward first and you're making contact. Okay, so fire that right hip so your hip is past your elbow when you make contact. So at this point, I want to see your hip. See, it's to the left of the yellow line, right? I want to see your hip forward. Okay. All right, and we'll go back regular speed. Okay. Actually, a pretty decent serve. One over the net. Opportunity for the other team to touch it. Okay. Let's see. We got another serve in here. Let's take a look. One more. Yes, we do. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's see. We're gonna go forward. Okay, right. So you're sliding. I see that right toe's on the ground. You're sliding the toe, right? But that right hip is back. Okay, you're sliding the toe. The right hip is back. So we flare that hip forward and then make contact. We're gonna generate more topspin, right? If we flick our wrist and we keep our hand pointing forward. Keep your hand pointing forward, flick your wrist down, aim for the rope, and we'll keep working on those serves. All right, until tomorrow, take care.